gentleman by the name of Dan Norris, who represents Transworld Systems. Dan, could you please explain to our listeners and so forth a little bit about yourself, the company, and just how you guys are really revolutionizing the industry with helping small businesses to get on track?
Yeah, sure, Jay. Well, first of all, thanks for having me on. Yes, my name is Dan Norris, and I'm with Transworld Systems, and I am an accounts receivable specialist and involved in cash flow management, delivering aggressive cash flow solutions to businesses nationwide, whether it be medical offices or organizations of all sizes. And we've been doing it since 1970. We've assisted over 200,000 clients in resolving $6 billion in accounts receivables over the past decade. Helping them to eliminate their need for traditional collections agencies and attorneys. And our services are based on a fixed fee pricing of around $10 per account, give or take a couple of dollars depending on the number of accounts due. And TSI is fully compliant with all regulations affecting first and third party collections. And we also provide a hold harmless agreement to every client.
Man, this definitely is awesome, because I know we have a lot of listeners that's on here and we're definitely interested in definitely turning some of their delinquent accounts receivables into a more profitable status. Could you kind of give us like an example? Like, let's say, for instance, we have a company, like, for example, a mechanic shop, who may have delinquent accounts receivables. Kind of walk us through what would be the initial process. How would they I know you're very busy, but just kind of explain to the listeners a little bit about exactly how typically this would work and become like a benefit to them, definitely with returning their accounts receivable.
Okay. Well, first of all, Transworld Systems, we pride ourselves on being the leader in providing delinquency and cash flow management solutions to businesses of all sizes. So it doesn't matter the size of the business. Anyone that has accounts receivables that sends out statements on a regular basis, on a monthly basis, or extends credit would be considered a client. And typically, well, first of all, let me just backtrack a little bit. According to Barron's, I don't know if your listeners are familiar with Barron's magazine, Transworld Systems gets the credit for the highest recovery rate in the industry. And the company typically has a collection rate well over 50%, whereas the typical collections agency only gets around 15 or 20%. We have gotten as high as 70, 80, or even 90% return results.
Man,
and what's that?
I said that is impressive. That's impressive.
Oh, absolutely. We have a number of clients nationwide. Union Bank is the client. Apple Computers, AT&T, Cisco, Ford. Enterprise, Hilton, you name it. We also have a number of associations that are affiliated with us. The AMA, the American Medical Association, Children's Mercy Health Network, MGMA, administrative partner. I mean, we have a number of associates and affiliate organizations, that we're partnered with. And typically, what we do is, first of all, there are different kinds of debtors. Different kind of debtors require different kinds of solutions. There's a reliable debtor that will pay their bill when they get it within 30 days. And of course, you don't have a problem with those. But what companies will generally have a problem with is the distracted debtor, which just needs a reminder, or notice of some kind, maybe a letter or phone call. And then there's the disrespectful debtor, which typically requires third-party impact. If they didn't reply to your initial invoice within 30 days, or if they didn't reply to the second reminder, within 60 days, then if it goes beyond 60 days, typically you're dealing with the disrespectful, and they require third-party impact. And then there's the professional debtor, which requires professional collections or professional collectors. And that's typically we get involved at the second stage with the distracted debtor, and we send out letters as well as notices by telephone, and we're pretty effective. Initially with initially it's first party contact. In other words, the debtor doesn't even know that the notices are coming or from a third party. They don't even know that a third party is involved. Initially, within that first, 30 to 40 days. After that, okay, go ahead. I'm sorry. You have a question?
I was going to say, so just to make sure my listeners understand, so basically the initial part of the process, within the first part of it, you guys are pretty much like sending it on the client's behalf. So it'll be like in the client's name, you guys will just be producing letters to remind them that this debt needs to be paid. I just wanted to make sure. Yep, am I telling that right?
That's absolutely correct, yep. As well as automated calls. They'll get calls as well, reminding them. Initially they'll get a phone call that'll say, hello, this is not a telemarketing call. This is ABC calling regarding your account. And a letter we recently sent you. And this message is for whoever the debtor is, their name. Please contact us at your earliest convenience and then a telephone number is left. And reference your account number. And also it gives them the option of pressing 1 and being linked directly to the creditor and making arrangements on that bill. They can do it on the spot with that auto phone call. And if for some reason that doesn't work, then they get a final notice stating that your account is now significantly past due, and to avoid placement with our collection agency, you must pay your account within 10 days of the date shown above. So now that's all under Accelerator. That's what we call the first stage, which is Accelerator. If they don't resolve the debt under the first stage, it transitions into profit recovery. And at that point, under profit recovery, notices are then sent out to the client under Transworld Systems name. And typically, believe it or not, Jay, a lot of people will, debtors will go ahead and pay the bill when they see the notice coming in from a third-party collection service.
Gotcha. So in other words, like if they disregard the first stage, they start seeing it in your name, then they really go ahead and start, which I guess that kind of makes sense, because now they realize, okay, this person's not alone. This person has already gone through, this particular structure, anytime, and that makes sense, if it's, they realize, or there's a legal team behind them that's willing to go the distance to definitely collect the debt. So that makes perfect sense. And I know my listeners are definitely, they are locked in to this. Well, Dan, if you could, just in a nutshell, is there any type of entities that you guys might have had a problem with assisting with this type of service, or pretty much you guys have your hand in virtually every industry that's out there in terms of helping them collect with debt?
Well, pretty much anyone that does invoicing, that bills on a regular basis, we can assist. And just to give you a quick rundown of the kind of markets we service, it can be cell phone dealers, florists, formal wear rentals, musical rentals, plumbers, electrical contractors, auto repair, used and new car dealers, wholesale beauty suppliers, homeowners and condo associations, landscapers, lawn services, pest control, nurseries, dentists, storage and warehouses, trucking companies, sign companies, publishers, cleaning services, office supplies, welding suppliers, heating and HVAC, heating and air conditioners, veterinarians, communications companies, gyms and athletic clubs, chiropractors, you name it. Anyone that does billing on a regular basis. And I'm sure a lot of people in your listening audience, they have companies, and they have a lot of clients that they bill for. And what happens, Jay, is that the longer a bill is out there, the longer an invoice is out there, the less likely it is to be paid. Each month it decreases by 10% that bill will be paid. So the further out that bill goes, as it reaches, 60, 90, 80, 120 days and beyond, it's not very likely that individual is going to pay the bill. And the entrepreneur doesn't really have time to really, and resources to really chase those invoices or chase those bills, because they're trying to get new clients.
That's right.
So they can't be bogged down. Yeah.
That makes perfect sense. And you're right. When you're building a business, you're expanding a business, it's strenuous enough just to build a level of marketability where you can stay competitive in the industry, and then when you have to chase down your accounts receivables on top of it, that can really deplete a lot of your resources and really make it that much more difficult. So I definitely understand the need to definitely have a company such as Transworld Systems, in your Rolodex to definitely be able to provide these type of solutions and structures to their platform. Dan, for anyone who's out there that's listening that's interested in finding out more about the services that your company provides, different things, so forth, could you give them like a website, email address, or anything that they could definitely utilize to definitely get in touch with you and take the initiative to really get it done there?
Sure, they can go to www.transworldsystems.com, and of course they can always they can email me, dnorris.transworld@gmail.com.
Guys are writing this down, definitely getting it in. Just one quick final note in terms of just for the listening audience that's there. If if you got someone who basically is sitting around now like, man, this is the perfect opportunity, I want to get started, but I know very little about debt recovery. What are some of the things they need to kind of have in mind and already have together so when they give you a call, they're already, on in the right capacity to really, make this a true benefit to what's being done? And again, can you just just let them know that there is like a flat fee, but it's a very minimal fee for a lot of stuff that's being done.
Yeah, well, it really depends on the number of accounts that you have. If you only have a handful of accounts between let's say 1 and 10. We can go over those, go after those accounts for a flat fee of $89.99. Now that's for the small business that has maybe a one-time need to collect 1 to 10 accounts. But if if you have a reoccurring need, let's say you have, 2 or 3 accounts monthly, then